This is my video recap of the Perdomo factory tour taken January 12th through the 15th, 2014. This will be hopefully an in-depth look into the Perdomo factory and Nick Perdomo's genius, if you will, because it is incredibly intense, incredibly intricate, and detailed to the nth degree. I hope I do it justice. And Nick, I want you to know I thoroughly enjoyed your tour. I would strongly suggest it to any cigar lover. Nicaragua is a beautiful country and a very welcoming people. So sit back and enjoy the Perdomo factory.
This road is where our factory is. You look right here, make to the left, right here, this road. If you look about 100 yards to the right is where our factory is. You can see it right there. You'll see more to that side walls. You can see the step back. Has a small little compressor, and we're going to show you how it works, and it really works.
And this is from your seed?
This is our seed right here. If you look, we have 3 different measurements of mesh. We go through a thicker mesh, a medium-sized mesh, and a very fine mesh. It actually has almost, instead of being square, has holes because the property, the seed, is rounded, and we want the best seeds to be able to fall in those particular holes. because of air, all the dust and debris and trash will blow out of this hole right here. Because what we're doing is we're building a vortex of air as a tumbler to push that air. But because the seeds are so light, the C grade will come out of this particular canal, and the B grade will come out of this particular canal. And what will happen is all the seed and the rest of the fine debris will blow out on these two different canals.
Y en esta parte de aquí va a salir la semilla de tipo B.
And this seed here in this particular canister, this is C and C. The B will come out in this canister because it's better, and it'll be trapped. And the reason we trap that particular seed is sometimes we can find an A once in a while when we go through it.
Y aquí la semilla de tipo A.
And the best seed will come out of the bottom now because it's going to finally be able to sift through the final chamber that pretty much produces perfection.
Ahí van viendo la suciedad y la semilla va bajando.
See how it tumbles down, it runs through a vent, and the reason we're doing this, we're trying to separate everything. There's vibration. Look at all the trash being
Aquí se ven las
separated.
partículas finas.
If you put your hand on this vent, feel how light the air is, and you'll actually see the dust come on your hands.
What's the seed is like this? How long do
We keep it for approximately 24 months. Most people say 5 years. We don't, but we have such an inventory of seed that normally every 18 months we're extinguishing. But we have such a machines. This is the only one. I made it up.
Entonces esta es la semilla de tipo B.
This is the B seed here.
Todavía tiene suciedad, partículas de suciedad.
99.9% of the people would know. It goes into a bag and it gets burned.
Wow.
And then it gets itemized. We take a picture of it and everything.
But you do that for both B and C?
This is the good stuff.
Here's the good stuff there. Now what we'll do is,
Oh, wow.
since this is top grade seed, we'll run this one through again to make sure it's out. But if you look, it's about 98% clean.
So the white specks are still the
Yes.
shells that got through?
They got through, and they'll go back again
Got it.
over mark
Got
till
it.
it's completely looking like this. Remember I told you we could take a piece of monofilament, a clear agent, and we could put it on there? Well, we did, and if you look, there's tiny pinholes in each one of these. Also, because we know we couldn't get 100% germination, we decided that could we put 2 on the top row in case one plant didn't germinate, we could pull one plant and put it in a place where it didn't germinate and fix that cup so we would have the same exact seed from the same exact year, the same variety, to put it on here. So what this is, it has the actual 96 holes that are lined up identical to the canister that we designed. So we drew it out. It has a suction and a vibration system built together with it. It's a really cool machine. So
Not going to be able to say that without laughing the rest of the day.
now, if you look over here, it's really interesting to come close. We all love each other. It's not a problem. And if you're a man, you don't even have to be nearly worried about me. And you'll notice that each seed is stuck in these little, or it's actually sucked right into that hole, except these two. Now we actually pushed that. Now every seed was shot into that hole. It's worked out good. Okay, welcome to the Esteli Valley here. This is we're going to show you some of the farming. You saw the seeds. You know, again, we're going from the puzzle from beginning to end. For curing, we're going to see fermentation, sorting, and selecting. So we're going to see everything today when it comes down to tobacco. Okay. That other farm I got over there is a shit.
This is shitload. I love his terminology.
One is a shitload when it comes to snakes.
A shitload of snakes or scorpions?
Neither here. guys off. Well, these 60 guys, we don't put them on the streets. We put them doing this kind of stuff so we can keep our labor working. If we come over here to the right, you'll see how these sticks get assembled. Each post or box will have the name of the actual farm and the priming, which this will be priming number 1 of the Estancia farm. We'll have the code and we'll have the seed variety. The first primings are going to be blue. Okay? That way, when we pull that off after curing and it goes into fermentation, we actually take the actual leaves, we put them together and we tie them and we ferment them from beginning to end. These tobaccos that you see here will ferment identically from today all the way for the next 18 months till they're in bales. So they never get changed and they go through fermentation, which we're going to see later. There's two different things between curing and fermentation. What we're going to see right now is the curing process of tobacco. And curing and fermentation are two different animals.
Entonces este es un tabaco del corte 1 que estamos trayendo de la finca. Por lo general es un tabaco más pequeño que el resto del corte.
If you look at the first primings, they're always smaller in size because they're on the bottom of the plant.
Únicamente se están cortando 3 hojas del pie de la planta.
We're only using the 3 leaves above the cleanup leaf for our sacklers. Most people use that bottom leaf. We don't use it for 2 reasons. The main reason because it's acrid in taste, and the second is because it hits the ground.
Como no, todos hermanos míos.
All my brothers were top sorters, selectors, and growers.
5 hermanos,
I had 5 brothers.
todos,
Every one of us, that's what we did. We grew underneath the tobacco plant.
con responsabilidad en la escogida.
With responsibility not only in growing tobacco, but in all the sorting and selecting of tobacco. Just like he smelled is the way you're supposed to smell tobacco. These tobaccos, what's happening right now biochemically, they're breaking down. Remember they were green? Remember we told you we want these colors are darkening them up. And then what we're doing is, if you feel here, feel the heat.
El calor lo agarra a él cuando le echa agua.
And you'll feel the
se va
heat in these
levantando.
pilones.
A 110, 120 grados, depende. Después cuando él calienta así se
What
tiene que
these
virar.
fermentation piles are, when they initially come from the curing houses, they sit here for approximately 45 to 60 days, so the actual juices of the tobacco start releasing themselves before they go into their second fermentation, which is what you're seeing here. These piles here will ferment till they stop. Estos son ¿qué? Son visos, ¿qué son estos? These are visos. These viso tobaccos here, if you can feel the warmth of these tobaccos.
Oh, yeah.
These tobaccos will stay in these fermentation piles for approximately 2 years, and they'll be turned. What happens is we have a laser. We run a laser. In the old days, we used to have to lift it and we'd feel it with our hand, and our hand would tell us that tobacco was warm enough. Now we know that we can season this tobacco at about approximately 115 degrees to 120 degrees Fahrenheit before we turn it. When this tobacco is hot, the first thing we have to do is we have to shake this tobacco. We have to give it aeration all the way around, and the reason we want to do that is if we put this hot tobacco and build that fermentation pile with this tobacco, we're going to have combustion and we're going to have a fire in here. And then what we're doing here is we open up these tobacco leaves and we're looking at the colors. See these dark colors?
Yeah.
Because these tobaccos are starting to ferment. And if you hit the light, you'll see the true color. If you hit a flash on it, you'll see it's a reddish brown color. If we